students, we have already discussed about different kinds of hybrid varieties, what they made from different institutions. In the program of Green Revolution, we discussed. Now we are discussed about in that way how we are going to made different varieties of plants which resistance towards diseases. Understood? Okay. The plant breeding, how it is useful to make new cultivars. A cultivar, a variety which has all the genes, diverse genes for all the traits, how it carries a special gene which is going to identify the genetic sequence or genotype of pathogen. When a gene present in the plant body, a desirable gene which is present in the plant body, which is going to determine the genotype of pathogen, then automatically this is the genotype of host plant can easy to control the disease caused by the pathogens. That is nothing but that ability of a host organism to stop or control the activity of pathogens in its body which are going to cause diseases, okay, which are going to cause diseases are controlled well by that particular host organism only because of the genotype which naturally present in the host organism. So, just we are going to get that particular property or ability what we seen in the host organism to control the pathogens and their activity which are going to cause some diseases is known as resistance. That particular genotype or that organism we are calling what? That genotype or that particular genetic sequence is called a resistant strain or resistant gene. That particular factor it is called resistant, that ability is called resistance. So, today we are going to discuss about disease resistance plants, how we are going to make through the process of plant breeding. Okay, that is our topic. What is the topic? Once again you please recall it. What it is? Plant breeding for disease resistance. Why should we go for disease resistance? Why should we go for making plants with a desirable character, a very important character which we want to expecting in the new plants as a cultivated crop plants, that is disease resistance. Understood, students? Disease resistance. You know very well in our nature, in our environment, especially in the tropical regions, especially the crop or cultivated plants are affected more by wide range of pathogens like fungal members, bacterial members, viral members. So, all these are the different kinds of pathogens affect a crop plant very big in range. Understood? In the tropical regions nearly the crop loss due to all these different kinds of diseases caused by pathogens like fungi, bacteria and virus. Understood? Nearly crop loss up to about 20 to 30% loss we are observing, or in some situations the total crop would be destroyed. The total crop will be destroyed. Understood? So, in these situations, what is the way to overcome this adverse situation like diseases what caused by the fungi, bacteria, viruses? Okay, we have only one chance to change to alter the genetic sequence of crop plants. Okay, just we are going to produce a new variety or new cultivar which has a new genetic sequence what we are incorporating into the host plant through the process of plant breeding. Understood? So, let us know very well about the plant breeding for disease resistance. Why should we go for plant breeding for disease resistance? Okay, write few lines as important points, and along with that particular okay, important points what we are note down, just you better to understand the topic what it is. Understood, students? So here plant breeding for disease resistance, here we are first we discuss about disease causing organisms, what they are, pathogens. Okay, what is pathogen? You please note down pathogen. What is pathogen? Here we are discussing about pathogen, host organism. These two are the main living components which are basically main living components which are basically okay, showing that for the destruction of crops. Understood? Or loss of crop yield. So here pathogen, pathogen means it is an organism, an organism that causes diseases, already we discussed it. Okay, an organism that causes diseases is called as pathogen. Yes, it is causes diseases. In which organism it causes? Okay, it causes diseases in which organism, that is host organism or host body. Now got the point, students? Okay. Pathogen is nothing but an organism that causes diseases. In which organism they causes diseases is called host organism. You please note down. It is host organism. This is pathogen. Now got the point? Whatever the organism's body enters, a particular foreign material which causes diseases are called pathogens. You please remember pathogens. Understood? Pathogens, they are in wide range which causes, which affects crop plants. They are a wide range of pathogens we are observing. Wide range of pathogens we are observing. Are like fungi, bacteria and viruses. Like the different wide range of pathogens we generally see. All these are the different kinds of pathogens which they are going to cause so many diseases in the host plants. Here host plants are nothing but, host organism are nothing but affected or non-affected, of course, whatever it may be. Some are they have resistance. Affected or non-affected crop plants as cultivated plants, cultivated crop plants, cultivated crop plants, due to the effects given by all these wide range of pathogens like bacteria, fungi, viruses. Okay, viruses, these cultivated crop plants especially in the tropical regions. Especially in the tropical regions, what happens? In the tropical regions, the climatic conditions are more favorable to all these particular wide range of pathogens like bacteria, fungi and viruses. That's why these are the pathogens are going to give more effects, more destructions on on the cultivated crop plants which they are observing in the tropical regions. Okay, these are in the tropical regions, the crop plants nearly, okay, the crop yield, or you better to write the loss of crop yield, the loss of crop yield can up to 30 to 40%, 30 to 40%. In some cases, even in some cases, total crop will be destroyed. Even total crop would be destroyed. Now got the students? In some situations, you please note down here, in some situations, the situations which are not favorable to the cultivated crop plants, in some situations even total crop would be destroyed. So if the total crop, 100% crop would be, if it will be destroyed, what is the way? How we are going to compensate the requirement of food in the world or in the country? No. If it is continuous, where is the possibility to sustain our life on the land without food? So try to understand, students. That's why in this situation, we have to take one way. It is very important way. What already we have as plant breeding. Through the plant breeding, we are going to select some plants. Okay, of course, here I already given information affected or non-affected. Though the plants are not taking any effects by the pathogens, but they enter or not. Some plants are affected, some plants are not affected, means okay, in one plant we are observing resistance, in another plant we are not observing any resistance. Understood? That resistance is a trait or character which expressed by the special gene or the gene which is very much active to control the diseases caused by the pathogens. Understood? A gene which is present in some of the plants are able to control the diseases are called, maximum they are called non-affected plants. Means that though the infection done by the pathogens, the entry of pathogens taking place in the plants, but the plants never shows or possess any kind of diseases, because that particular plants, very few number of plants which they are present in our surroundings or in our locality as wild plants or local varieties which we identified, which are not showing any symptoms related to the diseases, which are not destroyed easily in the same region, in the same place, in the same climatic conditions like tropical regions along with other plants. Maximum plants are destroyed by the pathogens and their activity, but here these particular plants are not affected anything by the pathogens. Means what it is, what finally we understood. So the plant which are not showing any symptoms and which the plant which are not destroyed easily after the entry of pathogen has a genetic sequence which expresses some proteinaceous materials can control the activity of pathogens. Okay. In other hand, whatever the same crop, same area, same place, just we have some other maximum different plants which are nearby with non-affected. Just we have affected plants, means these plants may not grow well and give more yielding. So in this situation, just we found, we are going to find out the plants which has the ability to control the diseases and disease causing organisms and their activities. Means we identify the particular strain as a resistant strain in the form of genetic sequence present in the non-affected plants and non-diseased plants, which they grow along with the infected and affected plants, diseased plants. Though they are growing along with the infected plants, but they never show such kinds of symptoms because they have the genetic strain as we are calling as resistant strain. That strain we are trying to incorporate into another plants which already having another desirable trait like high yielding. The plants which are giving, which has an ability to give more yielding, but they haven't resistance towards the diseases. Though they have, though they have very, though they have a very good character like giving more yielding, but if the pathogen may enter into those plants, they may not do anything, they may not give more yielding for us. Understood? Simply they are going to die with the disease because in that particular character they haven't active gene to control the diseases. That's why in our surroundings, supposed to take two plants, it is a crop plant one, okay, plant 1 or plant A. Now we take here another plant. This is plant B. These two are the plants which they are growing in one area. Understood? Suppose to take after few days, after 20 days, what happens? Okay, these two are the plants. After 20 days or 1 month, after 1 month, their growth slowly, okay, one of these two plants and its growth is slowly retarded. It is not getting development. It is not getting proper growth and development for producing okay, products or producing food sources what actually we are obtaining. Here for example, this is the plant A infected by, this is the plant A infected by bacterial diseases or fungal diseases, supposed to take fungal diseases. Understood? Or bacterial diseases, fungal or bacterial diseases. Then what happens? Slowly the plant growth is going to be retarded. Okay, the plant A slowly stop its growth. Okay, it may not okay, possess its growth. Slowly all the leaves are going to be fall down, okay, on the ground. It is not continue its growth. All the leaves are fall down here. Understood? So this plant is not continue its growth. Okay, its growth is retarded. Growth will be retarded. Retarded. Understood? Means here this is the plant A is not having its plant A have one good character. One good character, that is high yielding ability. High yielding is going to be given by the plant. But what happens? It has another negative character, one bad character, or it is the positive sign. It is positive sign to us. What about negative sign? Negative sign or a negative character shown by this plant A, what it is? Plant A only. Poor resistance. It has poor resistance to fungal or bacterial pathogens. Fungal or bacterial pathogens. Now got the point? This is the two characters what generally we seen in the plant A. Then what about plant B here? Plant B has one positive character or character, that is high resistance, high resistance, high resistance. Okay, another negative character. Negative character means which is not useful for us. Understood? Positive character means which is very much beneficial for us. Understood, students? Okay, so here negative character is like this. What it is? Less yielding. Less yielding. Okay, it has a high resistance. No pathogen attack on it. Though it trying to attack on the plant B, that genetic sequence of pathogen determined by the genetic sequence present in the plant B. That's why plant B will not destroy, it will grow very healthy. Very healthy, so many leaves and so many developmental changes it shown clearly. It grows very healthy. Understood? But it is not give more yielding because that much genetic sequence is not present in the plant B. It is the plant B. Understand? So here in these two plants, in the plant A we have what we have? High yielding character we have. High yielding it is giving. Plant A can able to give more yielding but doesn't show resistance towards the pathogens. But what about plant B has a high resistance towards diseases but it is not give more yielding. So now we are trying to alter the or manipulate the genetic sequence of these two plants into new cultivars what we are trying to produce. Understood, students? So here the plant what already the genetic sequence which is more favorable for giving more yielding. So this type of plants, into the plants like A, we are trying to incorporate the gene what we identified by a method, it is called germplasm screening of germplasm. So in that particular plant, the genetic sequence we have to collect and identify the genetic sequence or the nitrogen bases or the particular sequence of genes which are responsible for high resistance. We required character from the plant B is a gene which is responsible for tolerate the diseases and disease causing organisms. That particular gene we finding out and we are trying to incorporate that gene into the plants like A. Because only one disadvantage we seen in the plant like A, what it is? It doesn't show high resistance towards the pathogens. Okay, that particular gene which can tolerate the pathogens, we trying to incorporate into the plants like high yielding crop plants like A. When we trying to incorporate that due to following method of cross hybridization, what methods we are following like hybridization and artificial selection. These two are very important to collect the parental plants in our surroundings which are giving more yielding but which are not tolerate diseases, which are not giving more yielding but they have high resistance. In between those two plants we are trying to do cross hybridization for producing new cultivars. So suppose to think here plant A, if we are going to do the cross hybridization between plant A and plant B, okay, we better to do the hybridization between plant A and plant B. Here plant A has high yielding. What it has? High yielding but a less resistance. What about the characters of plant B, Nana? Here it has high resistance but less yielding ability, less yielding. So now we cross these two in many times. What happens here? Just we are getting a new variety of a cultivar as a new crop we are getting like C, population C, in which we are expecting both the desirable characters like a high yielding with high resistance, or otherwise what happens if you are trying to incorporate a desirable character like high resistance into the plant A, okay. For example, plant A already it has high yielding ability. The required character is high resistance is needed. It is there in the plant B. So high resistance gene is the resistant strain. We collect it and transfer it to the plant B. What happens? This is the high resistance strain enter into the plant. Already this plant has a high yielding ability, high yielding character. Then this is the plant which turn into a new cultivar. It is a new cultivar. With both the characters, with both the desirable characters like high yielding, what originally it has, and what is the new character we altered by the gene transfer, that is we are calling high resistance. What is, students? High resistance. These two are the characters we are observing in the new cultivar what newly we made. Now got the point? So this type of activity we are going to do in the particular process is called plant breeding. Understood, students? So this is the information we have discussed. Okay, and finally what kinds of varieties in the economically important crops. In which crops those scientists made different varieties. The varieties as new cultivars which are going to possess a gene towards the pathogens. You know, pathogens all are not similar. Different kinds of pathogens we see like, some are their bacteria, some are their fungi, some are their viruses. Understood? The crops, the cultivated crops which are affected by more pathogens, what kinds of pathogens are more affected? For that particular crops, just we identify, and then we are going to transfer the gene which tolerate the pathogens and their activity. By transfer the gene, by alter the genetic sequence in the host plant, then automatically it is giving a more yielding without any disturbances caused by the pathogens. Though the pathogens attack on those plants, the new genotype or genetic sequence what already present in the what already altered in the new cultivars are going to be identified the genotype of pathogen. Then towards the genotype of pathogen, these host genotype can able to produce some chemicals which they are going to stop or retard the growth of pathogens and their activity. Then plant grow normally healthy to give more yielding for us. Understood? The crops, cultivated crops which are economically more important, we have to take a right challenging step to control the pathogens because naturally the plants maximum they have the ability to give more yielding, but the only very big problem that is these high yielding crop plants which are there in our locality or in our environment or in our field crop plants, fields, all those are facing a big problem that is pathogens and their activity in the form of diseases. So if you are trying to make up a right genetic sequence by following the method of plant breeding, then automatically those plants can easy to tolerate that disease causing organisms and their activity. So dear students, so this is the information we are trying to understand, and what kinds of varieties we are going to discuss here, we better to follow. So little bit here, you please note one important point. Finally, the particular diseases what they are developing in the plants, okay, developing in the plants basically by some important factors. Some important factors are interact one to another. Some factors play pivotal role for maintaining that interaction, which is basically need to observe the or develop the plant diseases. So that factors are like this. What they are here? Yes, especially you please note down here the factors responsible for making or developing plant diseases in cultivated crop plants are. All these are the interactions of these three factors, like what it is. The first one is host genotype. Host genotype, it is a very important factor. It is very important factor for developing plant diseases in the plants. Understood? What it is? Host genotype. You please note down, students. Host genotype means the genetic makeup of host organism. Your host organism is crop plants. Your host organism is crop plants. So this genotype of host organism should be get a right interaction with another factor which play role in the getting plant diseases, that is pathogen, genotype of pathogen or pathogens genotype or genotype of pathogen. Now you got the point, students? The pathogens genotype is also a factor for making plant diseases. The next one is these two are there in the particular habitat. It is a very big habitat, that is environment. So in the environment only whatever the living component is going to do their activities, they survive. So environment, it is a very big area where the pathogens activity done on the host organism. So environment, what it is, students? Environment, it is also a very big important factor for observing. It is a very big important factor for making plant diseases. So here this is the pathogens genotype is also play a role to this particular environment. This environment has interaction with the host genotype, like that one to another they have that interrelation and interaction, very big interaction. By this interaction only the plant diseases are going to be developed in the very healthy crop plants or cultivated plants due to the effect of all these wide range of pathogens in our country or some other areas which are especially like tropical regions. The loss of crop yielding generally be seen from 20 to 30% or 30 to 40% in some cases, even it is lost completely. Even complete crop will be destroyed. So in this situation happened because of the lack of resistance towards the pathogens and pathogens which causes diseases. If naturally a plant which have resistance towards the pathogens, then automatically no pathogen command the genetic sequence of host organism or destroy the expressions and abilities of or strength of the host plant. Understood? Once that host plant have that particular genetic sequence which tolerate the pathogens and their activity, then no pathogen give any effects to the plant. The plant as it is grow. But what happens if it is not, if the plant is not having the genetic sequence, active gene towards the pathogens, then automatically this is the plant is not is not continue their growth. Slowly the growth is going to be retarded. All these are the leaves are ready to fall down on the earth because no crop giving more yielding for us. Try to understand. That's why we are the people who are trying to overcome these conditions to get more yielding by producing new variety of plants as new cultivars with resistance gene. What we are trying to incorporate through the process of plant breeding. Now got the point? So now before going to discuss about different varieties of crops what they made by the scientists and different organizations like IARI and some other organizations, so many organizations are there, ICAR, like different organizations are there in our India. Understood? Understood. So before going to discuss about the varieties of crops, just we better to see the diseases what caused by the pathogens like fungal or bacterial or viral pathogens, or diseases like fungal diseases, bacterial diseases, viral diseases, and some exemplary diseases we better to discuss in the plants. What kinds of diseases caused by the fungal diseases, as fungal diseases, as bacterial diseases, as viral diseases. If we are going to make a new cultivar with high resistance, this is the new cultivar which we made with high yielding and high resistance, then automatically we increase the food productivity, we increase the food yielding, and automatically we are going to reduce the chemicals which are very dangerous to, which are very much harm to environment, like bactericides and fungicides. Bactericides and fungicides, for what the purpose we are using those chemicals? Just we are using for stoppage or stop the growth of pathogens like bacteria. Those chemicals are called what we sprayed every time. The farmers every time, every 1 week they have to spray the chemicals. The chemicals what they bought from market, simply they mix with the water and spray it on the leaves and young buds what newly they are producing from the plants, crop plants, to stop the activities of pathogens. For example, the chemical which is more suitable to kill the bacteria are called bactericides. In the same way, the chemical which we are using to spraying on the plant, on the vulnerable plants to stop the growth of fungal diseases or fungi, are called fungicides. So when we have naturally the genetic sequence, if we are going to produce, if you are going to incorporate into the new cultivar, what happens? With the help of its own genetic sequence, they have ability, they have resistance to tolerate the pathogens and their activity. In that situation, if the pathogens are not affected, the plants, why should we go for by the bactericides, by the chemicals like bactericides and fungicides? So automatically when we made a new cultivar which has high resistance towards the pathogens, then we are not using any more amount of bactericides and fungicides. The usage of the dependency on those chemicals are also reduced when we made a new cultivar which has more resistance towards the diseases. Understood, students? Now have a look into the diseases what generally caused by the fungi, what generally caused by the bacteria, what generally caused by the virus. Have a look into the diseases, some exemplary diseases in some exemplary plants. Like that, so many are there, so many disease resistance varieties also they made. But a few of the diseases and disease resistant varieties what they made, we are discussing. Okay, students, have a look into the exemplary diseases what caused by the fungi, bacteria, viruses. What generally we are observing, some host genotypes, some host genotypes possess some host genotypes possess the ability of all the genotypes may not possess the ability to tolerate the disease causing organisms. So here some of the host organisms is able to produce, is able to possess their ability to stop the action of the pathogens. Those are called, that particular pure lines are called resistant plants. That ability is called resistance. You better to write these two lines. Okay. Some host genotypes possess the ability of control the activities of pathogen, or simply we are calling genotype of pathogen. Whatever the program is programming in the living organism's body, whether it is pathogen or host, because of genetic sequence, you please remember. Whatever the action, whatever the ability, whatever the strength, whatever the expression of characters, only because of genotype or genetic makeup present in their own genetic sequence in the body of individual. So here also the genotype of pathogen first determined by the genotype of some host plants which are going to possess the ability to tolerate the activities of pathogens. So see here, so the ability of control the activities of pathogen are genotype of pathogen Understood? These lines or these organisms which possess that ability are called, these organisms are, or these pure lines which naturally they have the ability to stop the activities of pathogens are called resistant strains. Understood? These resistant strains possess ability. What ability they possess? Ability is called what it is? Resistance. You please note down. Resistance. Okay, students. Now we are discuss about some exemplary diseases what generally caused by fungi, bacteria, viruses. Have a look. So some of the plant diseases caused by fungi. Okay, some of the plant diseases caused by fungi, especially like smuts and rusts. You please remember, these two are the very familiar diseases. What they are? You please remember, smuts and rusts. Okay, smuts and rusts. For example, you know, due to the fungal actions, okay, in the crop like wheat, smuts and rusts mostly we seen in the variety of crop like wheat. In the wheat we seen different diseases like, you please note down here some exemplary diseases, that is loose smut of wheat. Understood, students? The next one is brown rust of wheat disease. The next one is black rust of wheat. Understood? And next one is yellow rust of wheat. In wheat we seen these smut and rust like diseases caused by the fungi we generally seen. Understood? And some other exemplary diseases what we seen here, you please note down here. Some other diseases like plant diseases caused by bacteria. Some exemplary diseases we need to discuss here. What they are? For example, in rice we are observing what? Bacterial blight of rice. Understood, students? And the next one is, black rot. Okay, black rot disease. Black rot disease of crucifers. And same bacterial blight of cowpea plants, Fabaceae member. So like that, different kinds of bacterial diseases. Understood? In some other plants like citrus canker, so many are there of course. All those are the best example of diseases what caused by the bacteria. Now we better to write some other viral diseases. Plant diseases caused by viruses. Like a very good exemplary diseases we generally seen like in tobacco. The crop tobacco more infected by the disease causing organism or pathogen like TMV, tobacco mosaic virus, which completely destroys the yielding. Which yielding we are obtaining from tobacco? That is fully matured leaves. Leaves only just they are using as tobacco products. What they are using for making different kinds of all those are the tobacco products. Gutka, khaini, like different varieties of products they are making, right? Of course, for all the purpose they are using what? Leaves. So the leaves destruction we seen by the virus, tobacco mosaic virus. So it is the disease we are calling what? Tobacco mosaic disease. Tobacco mosaic disease caused by virus. What is that? TMV. The next one is turnip mosaic disease. It also by the turnip mosaic virus. Okay, students? The next one is chili in chili crop. Also we are observing chili mosaic disease. Okay, by chili mosaic disease. Okay, what it is? Chili mosaic virus. Simply we are calling what it is? Chili mosaic virus. Shortcut. So like that different kinds of diseases caused by the viruses also. So like that this is the exemplary diseases, exemplary is what generally commonly we see in the different varieties of crops by fungus or fungi, bacteria and viruses. Now we better to make a list. Now we better to make a list in the tabular form to understand clearly and remember easily about different kinds of crops. What are the crops generally affected by the pathogens like fungi, bacteria, viruses, and what kinds of diseases they shown, and what are the pathogens are caused to organisms for the disease in the particular crop. Understood, students? So now we better to make a tabular form to enlist all the different kinds of crops and their disease causing organisms and the diseases what they come. Understood, students? Okay. Now see here some important diseases of economically important croplands. Okay, from which crops we are getting some economy. Already we said in India, India is a agricultural based country. The GDP of India nearly 33% is only obtained from only the field that is agriculture, and nearly 62% of the population of India work come under the field of agriculture. Everything we discussed right now. So here that particular croplands through which we are getting economy and food and some other products what we are obtaining as food. Understood, students? The economy from agriculture through which plants we are getting more. Those plants, on those plants the scientists take up a very good attention to produce new cultivars with high yielding and high resistance characters or high resistant strains. A plant which is able to give all the desirable characters, especially like resistant towards the diseases. So here we better to list of different varieties of crops and their disease causing organisms and what are the diseases they shown. Understood? So you better to mention here the varieties of crops like this. You please put the main heading that is here crop. Here we better to discuss, we better to write a few different types of crops. Understood? And disease, what is the disease caused by the disease causing organism in the specific crop? Understood? So disease, the next one is disease causing organism or pathogen. Disease causing organism. Disease causing organism. Disease causing organism. Students, are you able to understand? Are you able to observe these letters what I am writing on the board? You please note down each and every point. It is very important. Understand each and every content in this concept. Okay, it is very, very important for NEET exam. Disease causing organism, or simply we are calling what it is pathogen, which is responsible for the disease in the particular crop. Understood? So pathogen, disease or diseases, what they caused by the disease causing organisms. Okay, it is a variety or a crop what in which we see in these particular diseases. So you better to write all these in the tabular form. Okay, here. Here we discuss some exemplary, some economically important crops we mentioned, and the diseases and disease causing organisms we are trying to mention here. Right, students? You please note down. Here the first variety, that is, we discuss about potato. You know potato? Okay, it is very important food crop in India, you know. So this is the potato is also affected by some pathogens like, okay, fungal members. Some fungal members, they causes some diseases in the potato. The disease name, a very important disease in the potato crop is, okay, late blight of potato. You please note down and remember, late blight of potato. The disease is late blight of potato. What is the disease it is? Late blight of potato, which is which caused by late blight of potato, which caused by fungal member. What is the fungal member? It causes. You please note down and remember the terminology of these disease causing organisms and their names is very important. You practice well, you remember. So the potato is a crop which is caused by which causes a disease called late blight of potato, which is caused by a pathogen, fungal pathogen. What it is? Phytophthora Note down. Phytophthora infestans. Phytophthora infestans is a disease causing organism. What is the disease causing organism? Which causes okay, late blight of potato, that is Phytophthora infestans. It is a fungal member. What is the member? It is fungi or fungal member. The disease, the late blight of potato caused by fungi. Okay, any direction they may ask question. You please remember all the in all the angles you have to practice thoroughly about the crop, in which crop late blight of potato, okay, as a disease it occurred, and what is the disease causing organism for late blight of potato, and is it fungi or bacteria or viral disease, whatever it may be, they are going to ask. So in all the directions you have to practice thoroughly to recognize the variety of crop and disease causing organisms, and the member belongs to bacteria or fungi. Next type of crop it is. We better to discuss here wheat. The crop variety, the crop is wheat. Understood? The first one is potato, the second one is wheat. Here in the crop like wheat we have different kinds of diseases caused by fungi, especially already I said na, smut diseases and rust diseases. Smut diseases and rust diseases. Smut and rusts. So in that you please mention all the diseases what we generally see. What we generally see in that. Okay, in that wheat, the first one is loose smut of wheat. Loose smut of wheat. This is the loose smut of wheat caused by a fungal member like what it is? Ustilago. In your 11th class, you learnt well about Ustilago and Puccinia. Puccinia, the genus Puccinia are the members of causing diseases like rusts of wheat. The members of Ustilago are very good causative organisms for smut diseases in wheat. So here Ustilago Nuda tritici or tritici. Ustilago Nuda tritici. It is also a fungal member. You please remember. Note down. It also a fungal member. Now got the point? So the next type of disease what we seen in the wheat is brown rust of wheat. Brown rust of wheat. It is a disease. Brown rust of wheat disease. It caused by same of course fungal member. Fungal members like Puccinia, genus Puccinia, Puccinia recondita. You please note down students, Puccinia recondita, it also fungal member. Yes. The next variety, that next disease in the wheat, that is black rust. Black rust of wheat. Black rust of wheat is caused by black rust of wheat is also caused by Puccinia graminis. Puccinia graminis tritici or tritici. You know it also come under fungi or fungal member. Right? The next disease in the wheat it is yellow rust. All these are very important. You please remember yellow rust of wheat. Yellow rust of wheat. Yellow rust of wheat is also caused by Puccinia styliformis. Puccinia styliformis or Puccinia glumarum. It also come under the category fungi category or fungal member, same. So all these are the four varieties of rust, four varieties of diseases we seen in the wheat. Three are rust, one is smut. Okay students, the next crop we mentioned here, that is about sugar cane. You know how much important it is, we discussed well already. Sugar cane, from where we are getting sugar. In the sugar cane also we are observing two important diseases we generally seen. In that the first one is the red rot of sugar cane. Red rot of sugar cane. Students, are you understand? Please pay attention ma. Red rot of sugar cane is a disease which we seen in the sugar cane. It caused by a fungal member. It caused by a fungal member. Colletotrichum. Falcatum. Colletotrichum falcatum is a disease causing organism or pathogen from fungi. It also come from fungi. Okay, it also generally called as another genus. Genus name we are using mostly, that is Glomerella. genus Glomerella indicating about okay, Colletotrichum falcatum. Next one is in the same sugarcane we have another disease we are observing. It is called red stripe. Generally stripes are lesions, lines, red colored lines we generally seen in the okay, long and narrow leaves which we seen in the sugarcane. Okay, the symptoms are red colored lesions or lines we generally seen. The chlorophyll pigment is not present properly, deformation we are observing, that is we are calling red stripes of sugarcane. Red stripes of sugarcane. It caused by bacterial organism like Pseudomonas rubrillineans. Okay, it is not fungi, it is bacteria. It is bacterial member. What it is? Pseudomonas rubrillineans, which causes red stripes of sugarcane. The next variety, the next crop, that is crucifers. Crucifers are not a single plant here. Group of plants we are observing like cabbage, radish, okay, and different kinds of kale, broccoli, cauliflower. All these are the varieties of crops. Cauliflower, cabbage, kale, okay, chokoi, and Brussels seeds, and radish. All these are the varieties of crops come under crucifers. In these crucifers crops, okay, vegetable crops, we generally seen some diseases like okay, what it is? Black rot of crucifers. Black rot of crucifers. Black rot of crucifers. Okay, it caused by bacteria called Xanthomonas campestris. Xanthomonas campestris. It is a bacterial disease. So Xanthomonas campestris is a bacterium. Now got the point, which causes a black rot of crucifers. The next crop is economically important crops we are observing. See all of you. Okay. Next one is rice. You know it is how much important as food we are obtaining here. You know, I think, right? That is, in the rice we are observing a disease caused by the bacteria called bacterial blight. In cowpea also we are observing that type of disease. Understood? But the species may different. Understood? But the genus is same. Where they are going to cause bacterial blight in the rice and cowpea. In the rice, the bacterial blight disease caused by Xanthomonas varae. Understood? In the cowpea, the bacterial blight is caused by Xanthomonas oxanopodis. So here bacterial blight is caused by a bacterium called Xanthomonas varae or varija. It also A member of bacteria. A member of bacteria. Understood, students? Xanthomonas viriga. The next crop it is tobacco. In tobacco, we are getting a disease called tobacco mosaic disease. What is the disease? Tobacco, where we are getting nicotine like alkaloid. So tobacco mosaic disease. Tobacco mosaic disease is caused by causative organism like, you know, it is not caused by fungi or bacteria, it caused by virus. What it is? TMV, tobacco mosaic virus. Tobacco mosaic virus. Simply we are calling it is TMV. It is a viral disease or virus which possess, here one important point you please note down, it is the tobacco mosaic virus contains a genetic material that is ssRNA, single strand RNA. Single strand RNA. Now got the point? Now here one more important, economically important plant crop, that is turnip. Turnip, like beetroot, turnip. It also mostly affected by viral diseases or viral pathogens. The disease is called as a turnip mosaic. Simply you please remember turnip mosaic disease. Same disease causing organism is also very easily remember, that is a turnip mosaic virus. It also possesses a single strand RNA as its a genetic material. Now got the point? Here the causative organism is what it is? Turnip mosaic virus. Turnip mosaic virus. It also come under virus category which possess ssRNA. It also possesses genetic material is as ssRNA. So this is the list of different varieties of crops, different crops which are economically important crop plants and their diseases and caused by the disease causing organisms, what they causes these diseases. So like that different kinds of diseases may occur in the different economically important crop plants. So this is not a right way with all the diseases. That's why we are trying to produce new cultivars or new varieties with desirable genes like resistance towards the diseases. Okay, when we are producing new cultivars in all these variety of crops, what happens? Automatically these diseases can easily controlled by the genetic sequence what naturally present in their body, because the changing of genetic makeup or genotype of pathogen is not possible, because according to time, with that time the genetic sequence of pathogens may getting change, may getting mutation. They can easy to change their genetic sequence according to the time with very fast rate. So that's why we may not control the genotype of pathogen. We just better to change the genetic sequence of host organism or genotype of host organism by producing new cultivars which has that much resistant gene towards the disease causing organisms which are not causes any diseases in the plants. Then the plants can grow healthy and give more yielding for us. Understood? Now you got the student? Now you got the point, students? So you please note down, all these are very important points. Now we better to discuss about methods of plant breeding for disease resistance. Methods of plant breeding for disease resistance. Now you please put the subheading methods of plant breeding for disease resistance. Okay, students? Next, this is the information we just completed in this lecture. Okay, in the next lecture, we are going to discuss about different kinds of cultivars. in different crops or different varieties which they have resistance towards the diseases. What the diseases caused by fungi, bacteria, virus. What the type of new cultivars they made, they bred by two different kinds of plant breeding methods. One is conventional plant breeding and second one is mutational plant breeding. Conventional plant breeding, how it is very much useful for production of new cultivars which has more resistance towards the diseases. That more resistance gene we incorporate into the high yielding plants. Already I explained. So the high resistance gene we incorporate into the high yielding plant, that for the production of new cultivars. The new cultivars, what they made, what they bred by hybridization and selection in the conventional breeding, and their varieties names, and those varieties have resistance genes towards what type of diseases, everything we discussed in the next lecture. Okay, students?